my Buc-ee's warmer, my Buc-ee's sandwich. See, we're sitting at 117 degrees, which is pretty good for early in the morning. So we're gonna put these in and see how warm they get by lunchtime. They get warm enough to eat.
We are in Windrock Park, which is about an hour west of Knoxville, and it's a gigantic privately owned off-road park that has about 90 trails. We're here in mid-October right now. This is a great time to visit the park. It doesn't really get super humid like during the summertime, so the temperature is really nice. It's actually a little cool, which I prefer. One of the reasons that I picked the route that we did today is not only did I know that we were going to have a big diversity of vehicles. You know, my Gladiator, it's on 40s, but it's still a big vehicle to navigate some of the more extreme trails here. But we also have an E-Series van with a flatbed. It's super unique. Chris is definitely used to navigating vans, but it's kind of one of those things where it's hard to gauge how it's going to navigate through because it's wide. It's a full width. It's like having a full width truck. Think of it like that. The two-door Wrangler knew wasn't going to be a big deal. That thing could go everywhere, but I wanted everyone to have a good time. And the idea here is let's hit some moderates. Moderates are great. There's a blue on the map here at Windrock. I figured 3 moderates and 1 difficult would really test the vehicles in a fun way and also make sure that everybody had a really positive first Windrock experience in their four-wheel drive.
My van is a 2021 E-350 Cutaway chassis. They stopped building the full-bodied vans in 2014. A lot of people think that that was it for the E-Series, but the E-Series is still in production to this day. And that's where you see all your RVs and U-Hauls and a lot of other commercial vehicles are still built on the E-Series. It came just as a two-wheel drive dually with nothing on the back except a piece of plastic behind the seat. And we brought it back to the shop and tore into it immediately. All the suspension on this rig is custom one-off, so it's linked front and rear. I built it to kind of push the limits of what the E-Series chassis can do. Nobody had really taken one to this level. I don't like having the same thing that everybody else has. That's kind of how this thing became what it is.
I knew our first obstacle of the day was really going to come at the end of Trail 27. It's visually very intimidating. It doesn't look very wide and it'll make you second guess how wide your vehicle is. You can start 26 and then come up 27. They look at that and they go, I don't want to do that. And so they come right here. This is where it gets everybody. It's so slick, people end up winching.
I'm a little nervous, yeah. I'm just hoping I don't slide off. I'm going to be riding this ridge and because I just have no choice. And then hopefully I just drop in gently and then I can just power out.
First thing I noticed with that mud is it's mud. I'm not a fan of mud. Naturally, I got a little nervous. There's a great unknown with mud. It could be nothing or it could be, you know, swallow your Jeep and good luck, you're getting out, winching and hoping there's nothing more that's gonna break.
Well, your worst case scenario for that obstacle is if you go too far to what's your passenger side, you can flip the vehicle at the top especially. It's about 6 foot deep, maybe even deeper. Let it go down. I know it feels weird. You're fine. Get nice and slow.
It was intimidating. I mean, I'll admit I was a little intimidated, but then after watching the first 2 guys go through, I thought, oh, that's not too bad. You know, when you're off camber and you're in mud and you don't know how deep the mud puddle is, so you just try to pick the right line and execute it.
East Coast, we don't have a lot of BLM land, a lot of public land you have access to. So we really are limited and kind of hope that parks like this exist. But one of the big advantages that I don't think enough people think about, if you have a problem and you're out at Windrock, you're typically not that far away from a town. There's off-road shops here. You can get cell service on many of the trails here. And it gives you a lot of confidence if you have a new build or if you're just new to four-wheeling in general. You can come out here, do anything that's in green, and that's just going to be a very easy, mild route. You don't need to have a big footprint. I would recommend having a mud terrain tire, something like a trail grappler or a mud grappler. This place, even with a slight amount of rain, can be sometimes dangerous, especially if you have an all-terrain or really all-season tire. So be sure to invest in a good tire for this place. If you're looking to kind of get into wheeling, private acre parks that are near places like Knoxville and stuff, man, it's a great option for us, especially on the East Coast.
I'm driving a 2018 Jeep Wrangler JL, which is the two-door model of the Wrangler. It's got a Synergy 3-inch suspension kit with our control arms, our steering. It's also got some Fox 2.5 adjustable reservoir shocks, and it's also got a 37-inch Nitto trail grapplers. It's a smaller, nimble Jeep that has its pros and cons, just depending on what obstacle you're hitting.
One of the bigger challenges of 26 is this rocky ledge section, and it's nice because you do have a few different options. So if you want to play or try something more challenging, you can. One of the things that you have to be careful though is knowing your wheelbase and what your vehicle is going to do if you do happen to get a little off center or if you're on the wrong line. Jaime wanted to try a more adventurous line that my Gladiator couldn't even think of just based off of the width of it.
I'm gonna have one there, I'll have one somewhere around here. It'll be a double hump. I may be making this more complicated than I need to.
This is my first time wheeling that Jeep with this level. So I don't know its limits and haven't found them yet.
Yep, start turning it, passenger from there. Watch me, start coming driver.
I may be a little wider than I thought I was.
There you go, there you go. Yep, hold that line. There you go. You're good. That's fine. All right, start coming a little driver as you go up. Easy, there you go. Roll with that, you're still stable. There you go. There you go, nicely done.
I was a little too wide on that line. A little wider than I thought I was. Hey, it worked.
They're like warm. Really good. They're hot. I mean, feel how hot that is. The thermometer said 185 and it cracked.
Bucky's tray, it was a success. Got up to 185 degrees. Sandwiches are warm. They've been in there about, I don't know, 4 hours. Now, I'm only eating one of these, so you guys can fight amongst yourselves.
When I heard about this trip, I was excited, and I knew that we were going to have a lot of fun. And since I had been out here before on the side-by-sides, I had an idea of what the terrain was like. I knew that there were going to be some limits pushed just because of my size.
If you're going to come to Windrock and you really want to kind of challenge yourself in your vehicle, I would recommend having at least a 35-inch tall tire, a rear locker, and a winch. Those are really the key items that I think are going to keep you safe just in case things get a little sideways. But you're going to have proper traction aids and, you know, a good set of mud terrain, so at least get you through. So I'm driving a 2020 Jeep Gladiator Rubicon. I bought this thing bone stock and have been building it over the past few years. Some of you may recognize it from our previous On the Trail where I took it on the Rubicon. It was actually a lot lower then, and it didn't have this crazy flatbed from its alloy. My whole goal with this Jeep from the beginning is to build something that I can take my family out wheeling, and it's very reliable. I like the versatility of the Gladiator over a Wrangler, and so I thought this would be a fun platform. It's got 4.5 inches of lift, comes from rock crawlers, the suspension. It's running a 40-inch tall Nitto trail grappler that has been underneath there for 25,000 miles. So this thing is driven, it doesn't get trailered. It's really investing in quality parts, so I know I can drive it and get my family to the trailhead. We can have a good time and go home.
Yeah, I think we found the limits today. I mean, it could be capable of more, but we pushed it further than I've ever pushed it, for sure.
Like, you're gonna have to roll with it once you kind of like feel the front tire's crest. You just want to stay away from that. Yeah. Your wheelbase though will be just like mine. It doesn't feel bad at all in terms of it's
yeah, because
really
by the time I'm climbing there, I'm still down where he's.
Yeah.
Just gonna let it go.
It's fine. Let me get up and let me get parked a good ways away, so I'll be out of everything.
They'll get over it. I have to let those Nittos eat.
I think the best advice I can give to anyone that's looking to start out building a platform and is concerned about wheelbase or if the vehicle's the right size, you have to build it for where you live initially. Where are you really going to go off-road the most? What are you going to do with it? So moving to Trail 82, it's rated difficult, and one of the reasons that it gets that rating is you get to an obstacle that you have no choice but to go around because you're going up a hillside and you've got a fairly sizable ledge.
All right, I guess I'm next. You're up.
But the thing that's complicated about the ledge is it will, if you're a short wheelbase, you're going to be hitting both tires at the same time, which is why we got to see Jaime get a little wild with it. Yeah, I'm just trying to keep him. If he gets too far over, this is going to be a problem. Picking up dust. Now we're having fun.
That felt all sorts of funky.
You don't want to back down or you won't be looking out of that mirror anymore.
So the last big obstacle that we hit that I got hung up on my trailing arm, it definitely made me nervous.
So I talk a lot about wheelbase and protecting that rear drive shaft, and this is a great example of how close your drive shaft can be, even on something that's got a great breakover angle like this. His exhaust is hitting right now and his drive shaft is just about ready to kiss it. So we're gonna have to get him recentered to get this thing up without doing any damage. All right, see how he's on his drive shaft right there? He's getting a little pinstripe coming up it. All right, let's back up and back to with your life is all about experience, okay? And the more you off-road your vehicle and put it in different situations that will teach you how it will react, the more comfortable you're going to be. You'll know that spidey sense of like something's not right. That might, oh, Chris, that might be your line, buddy. Hold on.
Have fun? That was fun.
That was awesome.
Hell yeah.
I didn't feel bad while I was in it. When I was in the van, I felt okay because I knew I had Ollie spotting me and I knew he was going to steer me in the right direction. If you try to go up something one time and you don't pick the right line and you know, that's okay. Try it a second time. But after like the third time, once he used the W word when he said we might have to winch it, I was like, I just hammered on it and, you know, tried to point it in the direction I really wanted to go.
Just like that, go right real easy. Easy. Just like that. Just like that. Easy does it. Keep coming, easy, easy. Come forward, forward, forward. Keep coming, keep coming. All right, start turning it back. Start turning it. You're good, you're just on the cooler, just on the cooler. You're good, you're good. Get out of the way.
Yeah, this thing's too big. That made me more nervous than the big rock obstacle.
My only concern really today was to not harm the body.
I'm a little big for these trails. I blame it on the pre-runner.
You know, you got to make sure that you're coming out with people that are like-minded enthusiasts. That is really your best bet. And if you don't feel like you have a lot of friends that off-road, an excellent way to get into something like this is there are places like the Southern Four-Wheel Drive Association, and there are different events that will happen, and you can be part of a trail ride with them. And you can learn a trail with an experienced person that is a trail guide, and that'll teach you a lot.
A day like today, we went out, we had a good time, met some new people, got to explore a new park. It was a great day.
Pushing the rigs to the limits is fun, you know, and thinking the whole time of like, okay, should I redesign this? Should I do that? You know, what do we need to change? Honestly, it's usually the camaraderie. That's usually why all of us are out here doing it. It's just fun, you know.
You're all out here for the same reason. You love being outdoors. You love modifying your vehicle. It doesn't matter. We all have 3 very different vehicles, but we're all drawn to the same want to modify vehicles and then go test them. I think that's really what makes the off-road hobby so special. I had an absolute great time on the trail today. I hope you guys really enjoyed watching 3 very different rigs navigate some very exciting trails here at Windrock. I want to thank Chris Steuber for coming out and bringing that incredible E-Series van, Jaime Conde from Synergy, and showing how easy it is to navigate when you don't have to worry about a big land yacht. Really appreciate Driving Line and Nitto Tire for putting this together and allowing us to do these incredible On the Trail series videos. If you guys have any comments, please drop them right here. If you want to see more, we've got a whole series of these, so be sure to click like, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and we hope to see you guys on the trail soon.
Thanks for watching Driving Line. If you guys like this video, consider subscribing to our channel so you'll never miss any of the content we create here. Whether you're into trucks, Jeeps, imports, domestic vehicles, or anything in between, we are here to fuel your passion. So hit that subscribe button and we'll see you guys next time.